And we thought this was going to be
That was
short.
really cute. I know. It'll be like 20 minutes. It's never 20 minutes, no matter how hard we try.
It was, I was looking at the clock when we were going down the script and I was like, oh, we're doing really well. It's like, we're like at 20 minutes
Right?
and we're like halfway through. This is going to be like, we're almost done. Yeah.
Riley comes in. Angel City on the board. Corner kick presented by Cedar Sinai.
Shifty work into the box. And across, it's in! Oh, it's LaRue! It's a dream return!
Welcome to Casual FC, an Angel City preview pod. I'm your host, Mario Salazar, with my amazing, steadfast, super knowledgeable, end of
Oh.
season co host, Angela Morales. And it's
Hello,
only end
hello,
of season, not end of
hello.
pod.
No, yeah, just end of season. We've already agreed to keep doing this because we're having way too much fun.
Yes. It was,
Alrighty.
we, so I, we'll see what this gets called when it actually goes live. I called our script in our feels.
Uh,
You know, we're gonna go a little bit off our norm since we don't really have, we're a preview pod, as I stated, but we don't have anything to preview. We're done with our season, but we're not quite ready to do a
what,
recap of the season. We
yeah,
need a little bit of
I
time.
I need time to kind of process the last few weeks because it was so much like good stress because it's like I was so excited for the team, so excited for everything that could and would and did happen. And now I'm just kind of like, dang, it's over. It's
It's
that
over.
like, oof, yeah, where you kind of, it's like the in movies and things where people just like fall back on a beanbag chair, like a big pillow, like hand on their forehead, like, oh, I'm so tired. Like that's what it feels like. And I mean, I know I'm sure the players feel something similar, but like, man, what a run. What a freaking
Yeah, it
run.
was a great run. I was gonna say it's that one meme with Joaquin Phoenix where it's like I think it's from Her, where it's just him standing like by his lonesome in like different settings. It's like yeah, that's the feeling of realizing there's no more season left. Just kind of lonely.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
But
absolutely. It's like, okay,
it was
well,
an amazing it was
bye.
an amazing run.
Absolutely.
It was
And
yeah, it was
this
a
team
great
has
run.
so much to be proud of. And yeah. So on the last and final episode of Angel City season, we played the OL Reign at Lumen Field. As I'm sure most of you have seen, the result was 1-0 Reign to end our season, basically. The notes are very, very much in our feels. It just says who scored and then a cue a whiny voice. And it's like, who cares? We lost. I just want to like stomp my feet, have a little toddler meltdown because we played so well.
I
We
think
we
that's the
defended
hard
so well.
that's the hardest
Yeah.
part and also
Yeah,
the
that's the hard
most
part.
like proud part is that they played so
Yeah.
well. They they it looked it looked like it was a
They
great
showed up.
even matchup. There was a handful of like
Mhm.
that should have gone in or what the heck is going on.
Yeah.
And I
I mean
literally
it
I
it
totally felt that it was going to go into extra time and I was like, all right, we're going to get another half hour. Let's go.
yeah. Yeah, so did I. I really thought we were going into extra time, and that says so much about how we played, how we defended, how we moved to the ball. We made like I feel like our fatal error was that we made late subs, but I think it's because everyone thought we'd be going into extra time. And not just stoppage
Yeah.
time, but like that extra overtime period
Yeah, we were going to
because
do a whole full
we
half
needed
hour
fresh
next.
legs. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to do a whole recap of the season, but like all of us wanted that extra 30 minutes of we've got the subs, we've got the legs, let's rock and roll. And I think had we made it out of regulation tied, we would have taken it in extra time.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
even the oil rain
they
had some really late subs. Like we were kind of answering their
everyone was
subs.
holding off. Everyone was holding off. Yeah. And I mean, it says so much that they didn't score until like the 85th minute, something like that. 85th or 87th, I don't remember. And I don't want to look it up right now because I'm still kind of sad. But the goal, like, it wasn't one of those like bangers of a goal. It wasn't a bike, like it wasn't this monumental, beautiful goal. It just like accidentally happened. Like, I mean, it was very well done. I don't want to discount
it
the
it was a
Reign
sneak.
and their
It was like a sneak
capabilities and
header.
Latsko's goal. Yeah, yeah. And it was because Bethany Balcer had come in and basically distracted and like pulled the attention because of her ability to head the ball and score, that Latsko was able to kind of get herself where she needed to be and like dink it in. But even still, Angelina had a great game.
Yes.
To have to come in as a rookie and show up and basically hold down the fort as a rookie goalie. She is the first rookie to be in goal since the very first season of the league. So in a decade, there has not been a rookie in the playoffs, like a rookie in the goal in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But our girl.
I think she has solidified her position on there.
We would be so stupid to let her go.
That's all it is, right? It's you run with the player that is hot, right? In sports, the concept of the yips is like an act. It's a very, very real thing.
Oh yeah, it is in all sports. The yips are so real.
You can get in your head. You can be the best player in the world, but just get in your head so much that you need a certain break to kind of break you out of it, right? And then on the flip side of that is that, when that happens to someone, or if that, and they get sat, or something happens where they get injured, or they're just not performing or whatever, and you get your opportunity to come in and then you shine.
Yeah.
The best thing to do is to let you keep shining and let you keep going with it. Like, there's no reason to not play your hot hand, right? So she solidified and she took control of being the starting goalie. And we were saying it for a pretty long time that we were both Angelina fans being in the goal. And
she's the future of goalkeeping in Angel City. That's for damn sure.
Well, we'll talk more about in our next episode, which we're going to recap and kind of go down the list of, who do we still actually have contracts for, and all the things, contracts, who's going to be a free agent, where people might be going, who knows? I don't know. We're going to also give them some time to let Angel City make announcements, hopefully.
Yeah, I have a feeling this last few weeks, players, coaches, everybody was like, I can only concentrate on one thing.
Yeah.
And that is winning. And we'll deal with, like, talk to my agent. Like, I don't have time for this.
And then you go to your agent and you're like, don't talk to me. I don't have time for this.
Yeah, I don't have time for this.
So,
it would not surprise me if between this week and next week, we get a lot of announcements out of Angel City.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
one of them better be someone losing the interim status.
Yes.
And another one better be an extension of someone whose name rhymes with Bear Borden. Because
the thought process of trying to figure out
I was gonna be like Shmara Shmorden. I'm like, her name is Sarah. Like, duh. But, there's certain players that I think everyone is chomping at the bit to find out what's going on with them, and a certain interim head coach that everybody's like, just give her the contract.
Yeah.
Because this team, I think we mentioned it before the preview for the last game. This team is finally the team that we all hoped and believed it was and is. And they believe it and we believe it. And to to have this squad or a very similar squad going into 2024. Like, let's go. Okay,
Yes.
I'm holding
So
off on more thoughts until we do the big breakdown because I want to talk about everything now.
yeah. So the I kind of thought we were gonna go longer on the recap, but it is what it is. The game, we had a
Yeah.
loss, but just I posted it on Instagram right after the game that we're just 1,000% proud of these
Yeah.
women and what they've done. 1,000% proud of and in awe of Becky and the way she went from basically dead last. Okay, we can at least say we weren't dead last. We were 11th place was our lowest, but we were tied
for
11th
dead
place.
last.
We were tied for dead last. And then pulling us from there all the way to 5th place where we ended up.
Yeah.
And making the playoffs and then making this
Yeah.
run, which those last couple of weeks were crazy math gymnastics for everyone involved. Everybody,
Especially you.
Reddit was going crazy, Instagram was going crazy. I'm
We
pretty
were
sure there's a
going
Discord
crazy.
somewhere. We were going crazy.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Yeah, every communication, group text, all kinds of stuff was going nuts.
yeah. And I did post, and I will say that, it was the first chance that I got to do it, but I definitely synced up iHeartRadio
Oh, yeah.
with the TV broadcast. And I had to use my wife's phone to take a picture of my phone with iHeartRadio because, you can't, whatever, logistics of
You can't
trying
do
to post
all,
something
yeah,
on
you
Instagram.
can't,
But
it was solid.
I didn't get to go to any of the watch parties or anything like that, doing dad duties and stuff. But we were at home and I started watching the game. And then at a certain point, really, I didn't honestly get to start watching the game till the last maybe 20-25 minutes. But when I started watching, I was like, I'm at home. I can ignore my phone semi okay. So I'm just going to sync this. So what? I was, a minute behind because of the radio delay or however long it actually was. But it was real time for me. and hearing Isaac and Tracy made it so much better. So I had iHeart playing on my HomePod, and then I had the TV on mute, and then that way
I love that.
it sounded amazing, and the sound was coming from the TV area, which made it a lot easier to listen to. But it was great.
Yeah. I was at, we were texting like crazy. I was trying to keep you updated, and I knew the kids were being very much kids and not giving you and your wife the opportunity to watch the game. But I was at 33 Taps in Culver City, and it was so packed. But I made new friends. We have new followers. It was the best night. To see the community that Angel City has curated and the people that show up for this team, you cannot convince me that, marketing FC and big ol' air quotes did a bad thing by building the community, because there were close to, if not more than a dozen watch parties on Friday night across the city. Angel City sponsored, I think, 8 of them. And then others were just popping up because groups of people were going to different bars, because it's oh, I'm in Highland Park. Oh, I'm in, San Pedro. Oh, I'm here. That doesn't happen without a hell of a lot of work. And I know we talked about it a little bit on the last podcast, me just screaming about how much I love it. But it's just so important that we show up and we keep showing up. And if next season is anything similar to the second half of this season, local bars and breweries and restaurants and everything better be paying attention to our schedule, because they will be getting phone calls from the Angel City community team, and they will be overrun by soccer fans when they think they should be having American football on. No, it's time for Angel City to get with the picture. But it was a great time, with the exception of the fact that none of the TVs were synced up with each other at 33. It was great. One of the TVs was a minute behind real time. So it was like, until we all figured out which TVs were the furthest ahead, everyone was watching a different TV, and you would just be like, wait a second, is that a replay? Like, what's happening? I just saw that. Is that in the future? Is this in the past? Like, nobody knew what was going on. The more people were drinking, the funnier it got. It was just shenanigans. And they didn't fix it until like the end of the game. So it was kind of annoying, not gonna lie. But it was also very silly, and it added to the like memory of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
like they were they were over capacity at 33 Taps in Culver City. They were turning people away. People were like pulling chairs and tables from other restaurants out on the patio. It was nuts. But good job.
Yeah, good thing I didn't go then, because I was kind of contemplating like going during halftime, driving down there, but then
Oh no. You had mentioned it, I would have been like, just stay home. Like, I couldn't leave my seat. Eva got there early and got seats for my mom and I, and like made friends. And like 20 minutes after we got there, I was just stuck. It was that packed. It was so much fun. But
I really hope. Funny enough, I haven't been. Well, not funny enough. It makes sense. I've got kids. I haven't been to any of the watch parties, so I really hope to actually get to one, maybe one of the official ones. But just the idea that there's multiple watch parties is great. It's fun to know.
Yeah.
And I know at the beginning of the season, there was a lot of groups trying to figure out watch parties or how to do them, but then also trying to navigate the whole streaming, like, the double-edged sword of streaming, like amazing easy access when it is on one platform. It wasn't always, but
looking at you, CBS Sports.
But then, because it's streaming, it means that bars don't have the capability to do that all the time.
Yeah. Or they can only do it on one TV and not like simulcast it everywhere.
Yeah, they can't.
It's a whole thing.
So, I mean, we'll see what happens with the new deal. But it's sounding better because there's more money, but it's also going to sound like it's going to be more confusing, which is going to suck.
Yeah.
So, I'm hopeful that, they figure things out and not screw it up, and just went for the bag and then just went like, well, screw you can't watch it. Because you only subscribe to one of the streaming platforms.
I know. I really hope it's way more accessible next season, especially with how many sellouts have happened across the league, how much like draw there is right now. Like, capture that momentum and keep going.
Yeah. And we did amazing. The vibes were there. Everybody was happy. And I think it all comes down to the new person flying the Angel City Wings, Becky Tweed. In the Tweed era, the second half of the season, she was 6-1-4. And then in regular season competition, and then in all competitions, she was 8-2-5. Okay, I'm going to slightly take a pause of what we're talking about here. When someone gives you the standings of, I think we've talked about this before, but I just want to say it one more time and get it on record because it still bugs my mind because it flips flops. Do you go win, loss, draw, or win, draw, loss?
I go win, loss, draw, because otherwise I'm like, why is that in the middle? Like, I understand why it's in the middle, but it doesn't make sense to my brain.
Okay.
Like, I do it the way you wrote it.
The way I wrote it. Win, loss, draw. Okay. So the thing that drove me crazy at the beginning of the season is I was building something. It was my spreadsheet that I was like working on, and I was bringing in new data, and one place had it as win, draw, loss, and the other place had it as win, loss,
draw.
And it threw all the numbers off, and I was like, what? It drove me crazy for like a day, like not understanding why things were wrong. And then I realized, like, wait, this number is not in the right place. So, okay,
Yeah.
back to our
Jeez.
tweet era. So she was 6-1-4 and in regular season, and 8-2-5 in all competitions. So that's including the Challenge Cup. That is amazing. I mean,
Yeah. Like if that was just like so those 11 games, or let's go to the 15 games overall that she coached us through, that's
yeah,
a lot. Granted, it's half the season, obviously, but that's a lot to carry and a lot to push a team through. And she made it look easy, honestly.
she made it look easy because it looked like the players, one, trusted her, two, were listening to what she was saying
Hmm.
and the ideas that she had. And I mean, I'm no expert here, so I might 100% be wrong, but it looked like they had a better plan. They were more tactically sound.
Yeah.
I know it
Oh,
feels like at
yeah.
the beginning of the season it was just launch the ball and see what happens, and then don't make any subs.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
just didn't make sense for the
Yeah.
longest
That's
time.
exactly like last season and the beginning of the season. That's 100% what it felt like. And I think it was Paige in her like exit interview or post game interview. I don't know what it was from, but she was talking about how this team finally found its identity and they found their mission and how they wanted to play, and they really found their own groove, like as you know, as players on a team, and then like as a cohesive unit. And it's like it's so obvious that they worked hard to get there and to find it and to put all the pieces together. And like that is why I fully think she deserves at least one full season,
Yeah.
because all of them have nothing but good things to say about her.
At at the time of recording, and we are recording right
Mhm.
now, so I'm going straight to the Angel City website just to double check. But there has been
Yeah.
no news on Becky's interim status. Now, honestly, she 100% deserves it.
I hope she
She
wants
needs
it.
she just and I yeah, I that's another thing. I hope she really wants it. And I hope that she wants it and they're not making her jump through like stupid hoops to try to get it,
Yeah.
right?
It doesn't
Um
sound like they are though, because in the post game thing, they asked her, you know, like, what are you looking forward to or something like that. And it was very much like, well, I have to take the time in the off season to figure out how we can get better and how we can implement the things we didn't get to do this year. So she's already looking ahead, and I'm really, really, really hoping that it's just a formality at this point in contract signing and figuring out all the like dumb details. But yeah,
yeah, cuz I would hate for the team to be like, "Oh, we're holding out for a bigger name or whatever," which,
no,
does not always bode well for anything. I mean, let's see where KC goes with Vlatko, but
or yeah,
going for a big name and let's say they find that big name coach out there somewhere, it just means you're going to start from zero. You're
yeah,
running right now with the team 100% on board, 100% behind her. They building up, they're kind of developing their style, they're developing how they do everything together. And then you're going to hit the ground running. If you get a new coach, now you're about to start from from the beginning and be
yeah,
like, all right, who are you and how are we going to work together?
yeah. And I don't think anybody really wants to start rebuilding from the bottom again. It's like we finally have a solid foundation. Let's build. Let's build, let's build, let's build.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
That's
how
my
we ended our
opinion
season.
anyway.
Hopefully we get better news by the time we do our season recap in a few
Yeah.
weeks, and we can all celebrate that she's here. But we do have some angels abroad.
Yeah, we have an
All
international
the
break.
and all the wisdom of American sports and American soccer, we have we ignore a lot of the international breaks and just put a playoff tournament right in the middle of one. So,
Yep.
we played this first round and then everybody's going to take a break and then not play for another 2 weeks before they can. Yeah, no, November 5th
Something
is
like
going to
that.
be the next playoff game.
Yeah. So not this weekend,
So
but the next weekend. Yeah.
yeah, so there's an international break, and we have 6 Angels that are going abroad, as we've been covering them before when we were doing the World Cup. A lot of these are just different qualifiers, right? Qualifiers for their regional conferences
Cups.
or
Yeah.
cups or
Olympic
one of
qualifying.
Olympic qualifying. Yes. So we've got Alyssa Thompson and M.A. Vingola.
Bengola.
We've got M.A. Vignola
I
and
wish
Alyssa.
we had I wish we had gotten that one.
Yes.
Like, I wish we could say that we came up with M.A. Bengola. I'm so mad we didn't. We got undetweeted,
We got into
but
tweeting. Yes.
yeah. And like the team put like they did it with so many different people's names, and I'm just like, dang it, that was so good. Anyway, M.A. Shout out to
M.A. and
M.A. and her
Alyssa are
family,
going to
and Alyssa
be
and her family.
traveling for the U.S. We've got Amadine Henry, who's going to be playing with France. So
Yay!
she had to miss the World Cup, unfortunately, due to injury. We got her earlier. She got to start training with us and rehab, and she looks like she's back on form. So I think her going back to
Yeah, she
France
looked
and
great.
playing is going to look good. Claire Ensley is heading off with the Scottish team. It is
Yay!
Scotland, right? Yes.
As someone who is, wait, my grandma was half nuns, of course. As someone who's an eighth Scottish, that's my girl. My grandma was half Scottish. We didn't find out until after she passed away. Otherwise, I'd have my Scottish passport, 100%. I love Scotland.
I hope I get to
Could go
visit.
on
I
forever.
haven't actually been off the North and South American continent. I've been North and South America. I haven't
Scotland
been
is the
off
place,
this.
like, Scotland is just magical. You walk around and you're like, oh, it's old here. Like, there have been so many things that have happened here. This is old. Like, yes,
See
America
this
is old.
moss?
It's
I bet
been
that
around
moss is
for
100
like,
years old.
yes. Yeah, I bet that little piece of that, like that one branch is this old. It's just whimsical and it's old and it's pretty. Yeah, go to Scotland. And it's cold, so you can wear jackets and look cool all the time. It's if I ever go missing willingly or just disappear, probably where I am. somewhere where it's foggy and like I can live on a hill.
We've got
Anyway,
June
back on
Endo
topic.
back to the list. We've got June Endo playing for Japan. And then we have Scarlett, who just got the call up recently, right before we started recording this. She got the
Earlier
call up
today.
to Mexico.
Woo!
So Scarlett Camberos will be playing for Mexico. So that's all 6 of our Angels going abroad. Or, I mean, semi-abroad. The U.S. is playing here in the U.S., so...
Yeah, we're playing in Utah and San Diego. Woo! But hey,
So,
call-ups are
it is
call-ups.
what it is.
I feel like we're both like running on fumes right now. I know I am. So I'm sorry if I am not my normal self. I have been up for very many hours on very little sleep.
We record these on Mondays, and I think we both have pretty long days on Mondays, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
It is what it is, and it's always worth it.
Yeah.
Definitely. But no, this season has just been a roller coaster for fans, for the team. There's been a lot of highs and a lot of lows, but we ended on the coolest of highs in this sense because we just got to like ride it out and enjoy it and help the team enjoy it because it's so easy when every game is a must-win game. Like it's so easy to get lost in that and lose why you're there. It's just like I have to win, you know, like it's just nose to the grindstone and pushing through, and they got to enjoy it along the way because all of us are just freaking bonkers every game. Man, the last few home games were just dope.
The energy, it was a fun mix of energy and nervousness the last couple weeks, all those last home games. And I'm hoping that all of that gets carried on into the next season. We've had highs, we've had lows.
Big lows.
Big lows. beginning of the season, big lows. But then, I think everything started trending upwards. So that's where we were great. So we wanted to try something fun with our recap episode that we'll be doing in a couple weeks. We want to ask you what was your... Yeah, we need your help. What was your favorite moment of this season, of the 2023 season? And it can be... Honestly, it can be anything. Because everybody's experience with this club is unique. And that's what makes it great. That's what makes all of this so much fun. So it could have been at a match, could have been before the match at a tailgate, at some community event when they've, all the hundreds of community events that they've done all over the city. If you just randomly walked into, somewhere in Santa Monica and you were like, there's an Angel City chant.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we're at a community garden. Oh, we're packing lunches. Oh, we're doing this. If you were at any of those events and they were like big time for you, let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Did you meet a player? Did you make a new friend? I mean, I did. We started a podcast together and, honestly.
and now we're buddies now.
We're buddies.
We're getting to the point of being close to family at this point.
Early on, we were texting and I was like, Ange, I gotta tell you something. And then I said, look, you've moved up to the top, like old school MySpace style, right? On your iPhone.
Yeah.
Where you can favorite a message and save them at the very top.
And pin it.
Pin them, essentially. Yeah. Angie got pinned pretty early and I was like, look, you're up there.
Yeah, so did you, because we were texting like crazy, trying to be like, okay, do we talk about this or do we talk about that? No. Let's talk about this. What are we going to call this thing? I think we should call it this or this. No, what about this? And there was just like mountains of text messages going back and forth. And it just got a lot easier to have you just at the top.
Yeah. So,
absolutely.
Or anything that you think is relevant to the way Angel City played this season or whatever happened during this season, let us know. Record yourself, on your phone, do a little voice memo, and email it to us, DM it to us. I don't know if you can DM audio messages on Instagram or Threads or anything like that. Or, main thing
I'm
is...
not sure. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Record it, send it to us. If not, I'll find some way to download it from wherever you put it. The easiest way would probably be just email.
Record it. Yeah, just email it to us. That's probably just for sure the easiest
Just email
way.
it to us, casualfcpod@gmail.com. And, we'll put it together and we'll kind of reminisce on the year.
Yeah, and if you can't record it for whatever reason, but you want to send it in, DMs, emails, text messages, if you have our numbers, like, I 100% bet you I will cry so hard. So by all means, see how hard you can make me cry.
Exactly. If you can't send it in, if you don't want to send in a voice memo. And started crying already.
I already got
She's anticipating it.
I got emotional. I'm like, I'm gonna end up reading something so nice and I'm gonna be a wreck. But please, because it's that fun and it's that important and all the things I've already talked about 100 times. All of that.
Exactly. So if you don't want to record yourself, if you don't want to hear yourself on the pod or whatever, that's completely fine. Like Ange said, just send us a message, send us a DM, whatever it might be. We'll read it and we'll put it on the pod for you. Let us know if you want us to credit you also. But yeah, I think it'll be fun. It'll be fun to get the different perspectives. Like we've always said, we both sit on the southwest end of the stadium, one section above each other, and so we have that perspective. Yet we've got friends around the stadium that have slightly different ones. Some that are closer to the supporters group, some that baked and roasted the entire season because they were in the sun, but they still had a blast.
Yeah, we've got some rotisserie chickens who sit on the other side.
So yeah, just let us know. I think it'll be fun, and hopefully, we'll see if this works. Maybe we'll get responses, maybe we won't, and it is what it is.
I'm gonna
and it'll be
pester
great.
all of our friends if we don't get anything. Like, we will get some because I will make sure we do. We don't hear from people. So be ready to be harassed, friends. But we're heading into the off season, and we want to make sure that we still we don't just disappear into the abyss. One, because we're busy and we have to carve out time for this, but it's also a really fun way for us to hang out with each other. But we're gonna try to release episodes semi-consistently in the off season. They'll be more spread out and not as frequent, but we've got some really, really fun ideas that we're excited to explore and kind of give more information about the league and players and history and all that kind of stuff, and rules for the people who don't know the rules and want to learn them. And we're going to just be working kind of hard to bring some good information to everyone. So we've got the upcoming 2023 season episode recap coming up. But then we've got some really cool ideas. We were talking about it before we started recording, about what we want to talk about, the ideas we've just kind of been jotting down here and there, joking about throughout the season. And there's a lot we can choose from. So make sure you follow us so you never miss an episode, regardless of when they come out. They'll be more frequent the closer we get to the season. So fingers crossed the NWSL gets their shit together and gets to see
They won't.
the schedule out sooner.
They won't.
Sooner rather than later, because this year was dumb. The schedule freaking came out 2 weeks before the first game. People already had scheduled stuff. Come on. So, but the commissioner did say that they had already started working on the schedule. So I'm really hoping that means we'll get it by January, February instead of March. But you know where to find us.
And you know what? If you're subscribed, guess what? It's going to be cool little presents every time every time an episode pops up. It's going to be ooh, wasn't expecting this. And there you go.
What they do. Definitely.
So yeah, follow us, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Check out casualfc.com. As usual, tell your friends about casualfc.com. They can start following us from there. Follow our socials.
If you happen to see me, I usually have stickers on me. I carry them with me all the time because I didn't one day and I ran into 3 people that were like, oh my God. And I will say, I went to Josie's birthday party this weekend and they had the Casual FC sticker on their big cooler and I felt so cool.
Yes.
It's so, their family cooler, and so Doug and Alyssa were like, look, her sticker. And I was like, yay.
Yeah.
It was very fun. But yeah, it was a good time.
Oh, I love it. I think Josie's going to be one of our interviews, one of our gets. It's going to be our major get if we get.
She will not let me live it down if I don't, because I already promised. And I don't break promises to little kids. That's cruel and mean, and I don't do that. But yeah, we've threatened before that we're going to turn into the East Bay catalog. We've got a lot of really fun ideas coming. But yeah, there'll be a ton more merch before the season kicks off that you can get at shop.casualfc.com. Follow us on all of our socials, Casual FC Pod, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, TikTok. Tell your friends about us. We're going to try and build a little bit bigger in the off season and get geared up for 2024. So might as well just catch up now so you know how excited we are. And then if you ever feel so inclined and you want to support the pod by buying us a coffee, check out the link in all of our social bios or go to buymeacoffee.com, all spelled out, /casualfcpod and throw some change our way. And you'll just get more shenanigans from us in the coming weeks and months and who knows how long.
Yeah, we'll keep this going as long as we can. Yeah, so thank you for listening, everyone, and we'll see you real soon, and we'll recap this
in a couple
incredible roller coaster of a season that we had, and hopefully hear from a few of you. So have a good one. Bye.
Bye.